I should probably unmute myself. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kaya Waltz. I am the Executive Director here at the MIT Enterprise Forum, Cambridge. I want to welcome you all to our second Startup Spotlight Virtual Demo Day. Before we get started with our pitches for today, I wanted to take a minute and announce last week's pitch winner. The winner of the popular vote from last week was Cloud Agronomics. They are a geospatial imaging and analytics startup creating a living map of global agriculture. Really cool technology. You can learn more about them on our website, and congratulations to them. As you all know, we can't do what we do here at MyTEF Cambridge without our annual sponsors. So I'm really pleased to introduce today's sponsor, Keaton Caldwell from Caldwell IP, just to say a few words.
Thanks, Katja. Happy to be part of the event today, and glad that it's like encouraging to be part of an organization, and several organizations actually at this point that have been so versatile during these transitional times for everyone, right? So I think it's actually really exciting that we're able to be nimble enough to adjust to the current circumstances to still hold these events, and I'm super excited about today. So what can I say, right? That doesn't sound super boring. We're a law firm and we do law. So, the only thing that I can add is that we're awesome and probably awesomer. And no, we're just, we're kind of the startup version of a law firm. We've sponsored MIT Enterprise Forum for, I guess we're going into our third year here. So we're relatively new, and we've only been around ourselves for 4 years. When I say we're the startup version of a law firm, I mean, we really are. 4 years ago it was just me. Now there's, I don't know, by the end of the month we'll have like 17 of us, and we're we'll be in the top 250 of the Inc. 5000 this year, and probably be named number 1 on the law firm 500 list as well. It's the fastest growing law firm in the United States by revenue. And we're only able to do things like that by being involved with like a community of innovators here. And we're profoundly grateful to be part of this community. And we try to express our gratitude back to the community by taking great care and in pride in the work that we do with our clients. So if I said much more, I'd just mess it up. So I could read you some stuff off our website too, but I started to do that and I was like, this is horrible. I need to change this. It's so boring. But anyways, I'm just glad to be part of this today. Katie Rubino, an attorney at the firm, is also joining me, although she doesn't have the fancy spotlight background like I do. And we'll get that for her next time. But that's about it. We're just really excited to have the companies today and to be part. MIT Enterprise Forum is when we talk about, this is a final word I'll just say. Like when I think about like community and like what that means to me, the MIT Enterprise Forum is truly embodies that for me, right? Like we're a group of people that care about each other. This is not like some fancy organization that has tons of money or something like that. No one's paying the MIT Enterprise Forum tens of thousands of dollars just to hang out with them. But it's where we're coming together to dispel, or to impart knowledge that maybe we wouldn't have access to otherwise, right? And or at least this is the way that I see it. I'm not a representative of the MIT Enterprise Forum.
But we like it, Keegan.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But this is just my experience with being involved with it. And, communities also, kind of coming together and, caring for the folks within your community so that we can all be better, right? And I think that the MIT Enterprise Forum absolutely facilitates that. And another thing that I can speak directly from experience is, the kind of the cliched saying that it takes a village, right? And it's only through being part of an organization like the MIT Enterprise Forum that we're able to have the sort of success that we do as a firm and just as people in our personal lives as well. That like really being part of it makes our lives so much more rich. I know it seems like kind of a cheesy sales pitch for the MIT Enterprise Forum. No one's asking you for any money or anything like this. I'll put my Venmo up in a second, please. No, truly, I just feel that way, and it's a wonderful organization to be a part of, and I'm just looking forward to hearing what these companies have to say today.
Well, thank you so much, Keegan. I'm going to turn it over to Amy, who's going to introduce our first company.
Yeah, I'm Amy Goggins. I'm the program director here at the MIT Enterprise Forum Cambridge. And just to give you an idea of the flow, we have 3 presenting companies today. Each gets 8 minutes to present, and then we'll have 5 minutes of Q&A. So if you have a question, type it in chat, and Katya will moderate the chat and do the Q&A. So I'm just going to go right ahead and introduce Genuine, our first company, and Veronica can take it from here.
All right. Thank you for having me. I lead a team of geneticists and data scientists at Genuine, a personalized medicine company. Using genetics, we have developed SpillCheck, a software and service that makes medicine safer and more effective. Why is it important? If I can figure, okay. Annually, we spend $390 billion on medications in North America. Unfortunately, 30% of it is wasted as it doesn't lead to improvements in health outcomes. And one of the major contributors to this waste is a mismatch between people's genetics and the medications they're prescribed. This headline speaks for itself. So the goal of personalized medicine is to streamline clinical decision-making by distinguishing in advance those people who most likely benefit from a given treatment from those who will incur cost and suffer side effects without gaining any benefit. And this is where we come in. Most people have genetic variations affecting drug response, and PillCheck, the platform we built, is a platform that tests for these genetic factors and also helps individuals receive optimized medication therapy. What PillCheck customers receive is an action plan prepared by a clinical pharmacist and a comprehensive report which covers an ever-increasing number of medications. Some clients call it my medication passport, and we increase the number of medications as guidelines evolve. What does it mean for business? Here's Jane, who received PillCheck insights through her insurance case manager, which is our client. A patient being treated for depression, for example, might be placed on one of a dozen of medications. And if medication doesn't work after a few weeks, a person might be switched to another. This somewhat trial and error approach can lead to frustration, adverse drug responses, drug interactions, and poor adherence to treatment regimen. All of it together leads to increased disability and costs. So PillCheck really helps people avoid medications that don't work and the time and resources wasted correcting for them. PillCheck follows established pharmacogenetic guidelines. This is a dynamic field of science with new consensus clinical guidelines being published annually, and we update all of our client reports accordingly. The typical outcomes of a PillCheck analysis are shown on the chart on the right, and they range from drug switch to dose adjustments and deprescribing. The study of patients filling prescriptions at 2 Toronto pharmacies showed that 78% of prescriptions needed some kind of change. And our growing practice shows high impact in a variety of the real-world scenarios. In summary, PillCheck helps people avoid medications that don't work and time and resources wasted correcting for them. We market PillCheck service to other businesses that are already established in the market to cover the cost of personalized medication management for individual or distribute the service. We just looked at the return on investment for somebody who is on disability, so really ill. Here's someone who is reasonably well. So here's Kevin, an active guy. Last year, he was prescribed Tecta for acid reflux, but his heartburn is not getting much better. Sometimes he can't sleep, so he's tired during the day and it affects his work occasionally. And he twisted his ankle while playing tennis in some other time when tennis was allowed. And now he can't enjoy any sporting activities. So he orders PillCheck through his company benefits plan. When Kevin got his results, his doctor could see clearly why Kevin couldn't get much pain relief with his prescription. Due to his genetics, Kevin's body converted codeine to morphine at a slower rate, and only a change in medicine can fix this problem. From our growing practice, we also see that people remain engaged with PillCheck over time. Everyone views their PillCheck report in the first month, so this graph only starts with month 2, and a steady number of PillCheck clients log in every month. PillCheck service has rave reviews from patients and providers, and pharmacists value a lot the PillCheck workflow tools that facilitate medication reviews and documentation. But out-of-pocket cost and accessibility remains a barrier for most people. PillCheck has been successfully introduced as part of disability claims management and group benefits programs by some of the most respected names in Canada. We have developed a robust training and onboarding program, which is scalable, and it works really well for busy, service-oriented organizations. So we built a platform that addresses needs of all stakeholders, but we are realists. Until using genomic insights to inform practice is incorporated in the standard practice and there's associated payment stream, doctors will remain at best only partial adopters of this beneficial technology. What about the market? A quarter of people in developed markets take drugs covered by the PillCheck report. This represents a $3 billion market opportunity for Genuine in Canada alone. Genuine makes 50% gross margin on every PillCheck unit, plus we started licensing our software to regional partners, and our first one went live in Denmark last year. Genuine experienced accelerated growth in onboarding enterprise clients, and this growing list of clients from diverse care setting boosts our data analysis capabilities. Our 2020 product roadmap includes development of predictive algorithms for insurance clients based on our growing body of anonymized data. So there are many organizations such as labs capable of performing some sort of DNA analysis, but we recognized early on that although clinical beneficiary of such analysis is a person, the economic beneficiary of the optimal medication management is the healthcare payer. PillCheck software connects people with the right drug therapy faster. And Genuine offers our clients and partners the flexibility to configure the service to boost benefit programs, protect plan members, and impact their bottom line. Our team combines expertise in innovation management, digital health analytics, and genomics. We're a mature team that gelled together through several years of developing the platform and validating it in many care settings. In addition to core team that works in the business day-to-day, I benefited greatly from guidance from Dr. Scott Kahn, who was CIO at Illumina for many years, and Mark Forrest, an executive with Munich Re, one of the largest reinsurance companies in the world. So our team of geneticists and data scientists build a PillCheck with a vision to make personalized medicine accessible and affordable at scale. This paper published in Nature last year discusses some of the technical and clinical challenges that we addressed with our proprietary technologies. The big takeaways are having a digital platform that allows for repeated use of DNA insights and supports regular updates. That's what makes it cost effective. Ensuring the broad genetic coverage, which is key to ensuring sensitivity and accurate results for multi-ethnic population, and also supporting many configurable features that allows deployment in various care settings. We're raising $5 million to scale key account management and to incorporate PillCheck in the benefit plans serving over 10 million people. Plus, we're looking to extend our service into other geographic regions and incorporate it into other insurance products. So in summary, Genuine built a personalized genetic analysis technology to optimize benefit spending and health. The company owns a complete platform for genome analysis and all the way to end user programs and analytics. Therefore, we have end-to-end metrics, including longitudinal data collection. And we're ready for scaling. I'd like to finish with an important thought. Personalized medicine is truly transformative. We see daily how it brings new clarity and support joint decision-making for patients and physicians while saving money for payers. And with this, I'm close and ready for questions.
Right. Thank you very much. I'm just going to remind everyone to chat your questions in to the chat. You can either chat them to me directly or to everyone. But if I don't see any questions come in, I'm going to ask my own. So it looks like you're in Canada. Is that correct? So
Correct.
what are your plans here in terms of the US market? Because it certainly is very different in healthcare.
Well, different and not that different. So in Canada, the cost of medication is actually covered by covered privately, same as in the US. And some of the use cases that we validated in Canadian setting, which is supportive of people in who are not well, managing chronic conditions. These are all exactly the same scenarios in US setting. The medication coverage, the drugs that are sold in Canada are very similar to the medication sold in US. So our plans for US really is to partner with organizations that already are in the group benefits, health benefits, or pharmacy business. And we consider ourselves deep specialists in one narrow area. And this area is personalized medication management informed by genetics. So we have a turnkey platform to add it to anyone's capabilities.
Great. So there's a question here about what are your customer acquisition conversion costs?
So we're working with insurance clients, and it's relatively new to practice. It took us 18 months to win first client, and now we work with half a dozen of insurance companies, so it's becoming more accepted. And these companies offer a variety of products. So we're studying in the area that's most expensive for insurance clients, which are most costly cases. And now we're spreading through the whole book of business. So don't think of our business as SaaS. It's only SaaS for organizations, for our regional partners. So we have a SaaS business in Denmark where we licensed our whole software, and they pay us for access to the system. When we work with our insurance clients, we kind of get into the tent, and then they offer the service to different groups. And so it's expensive to get in, but once we're in, it's a very different game.
Got it. I have a question here about protecting the privacy of the data.
Very good question. Thank you for asking it. So Geniune taken strong voluntary measures to protect data. We completed the SOC 2 Type 2 review audit in order to meet requirements of our clients. What's important to recognize is our DNA represents maybe 25,000 genes. We analyze about 25 genes. So we analyze only a very small portion of our DNA pertaining to that single question: what are the right medications for me, which will be safe and effective? We do not store DNA data. We destroy samples after analysis is completed, and we follow HIPAA PIPEDA requirements. So we're really set up to deal with data security. And we also put person in charge of the results. So it's always my pill check, my medication passport. I'm always in control of who sees what information. And clearly insurance companies and employers don't have access to any genetic data.
Got it. Amy, how are we doing on time?
We have 25 seconds left.
Oh boy. All right.
I
Quick.
mean, we could probably take one more question.
Okay,
It's
quick
hard.
then. Do you have any patents?
We do not have patents at present. We built so we own the whole platform from genome analysis and reporting to longitudinal data analysis. And we really, at the point we're building our data moat, because we collect data from our clients in different care settings, treated in addiction clinic, on disability, filling prescription at a pharmacy downtown. And this contextual information is really constitutes the body of that makes our platform proprietary.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Veronica. We appreciate
Pleasure.
it.
Thank you,
For
Veronica.
those of you who asked questions I didn't get to, we have a Slack channel, so you should join the Slack channel, and you'll be able to chit chat with Veronica directly if you have further questions. So
And I'll invite you all to that in a follow-up email, including the recording of this event.
Yeah.
All right, next we're gonna hear from Parkathon.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
Let me just share my screen here. You see it?
Yep.
All right, so first of all, my name is Evgeny Klochkin. I'm the CEO of Parkathon, and I very much appreciate this opportunity because I do love the MIT community, and I was there for Connected Saints last year, a little over a year. Very beautiful opportunity over there. We are headquartered in Washington, D.C. metro area. Right now I'm calling from beautiful Italy, the epicenter of coronavirus, where we just had demo day at our Techstars accelerator last week. So we just graduated from Techstars. The thing that I'm going to tell you about is our patented technology. So like most of you, I drive almost every day to work, to see friends, to visit relatives, or to buy food. And almost every time we drive, we have to deal with traffic, difficult navigation, searching for parking, and then paying for it. American economy loses about $73 billion a year on costs of fuel and time that people waste to look for parking. So an average driver would waste up to 40 minutes just looking for it. And that is a tremendous problem. Today, we can solve these pain points once and for all. No more meters, no more toll booths, no more pay by phone apps, because everything is figured out for you. Connected vehicles, or every car connected to the internet, can guide you to open parking spaces, pay for them, and automate your entire driving experience from within the car itself. Research shows that 6 out of 10 car buyers already prioritize connected vehicle features when they're looking for the next vehicle. Parkathon is the next generation connected vehicle technology that automates parking, tolls, insurance, in-car payments, and navigation. Paired with an intuitive mobile app, our patented telematics technology uses precise vehicle location to guide you to open parking spaces and automatically charges you for the actual time you spend parked when you leave. We already work with major automotive companies, Continental and Denso, that serve major OEMs like Toyota, Subaru, and FCA to integrate our technology directly inside cars. In Portugal, we're reimagining the way how drivers pay for petrol at gas stations of Galp, a major energy company on the Iberian Peninsula. Partnering with Grab, Asian, and Hajiwara, we also seek to expand our business to the Asian market. So one pilot that we do currently, starting with Gulp, is basically you as a driver would have our technology embedded in your car. You arrive at a gas pump number X, number 2. We know exactly where you are, and we activate the gas pump automatically. No need to swipe the cards, no need to touch the keypads, nothing. So you fill up the tank and you go. The same as you can go to a car wash, and it's also fully automated for you. As I'm here calling from Italy, where we had Techstars, we're also doing starting a pilot with Torino City Lab over here, which is more on the curbside management perspective. And that is very much connected to our relations with Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, major truck manufacturer Case New Holland, and also FCA Bank, where we look to offer our services directly to a fleet leasing company leases. In terms of business model, we work with automakers to integrate our technology directly inside cars for a $4 fixed fee, and then offer our services directly to drivers for a $5 monthly subscription fee. In only 2 years, there will be 125 million connected vehicles on our roads. This makes our total addressable market equal 6.5 billion per year. Building only on our existing projects with select car makers, we can already reach $500 million per year in annual revenue. Thanks to our patent and the science-based technology, we guarantee that automakers become our primary customers. Our ongoing integrations, contracts, and interest from the automotive industry demonstrate that our technology adds critical value to monetize new connected vehicle applications. Our team is best positioned to deliver on the promise of automated mobility to all drivers. I led multi-million R&D projects for the US government before starting Parkathon, working to deliver the best value to our society with correct science and innovation investments. My co-founder, David Pickrell, is one of the top global experts in smart mobility who used to lead global smart transportation practice at IBM and Booz Allen Hamilton. Backed by a very experienced engineering team led by my brother Vladimir, we are in the best position to deliver the best technology, both inside and outside the car. Supported also by a group of distinguished advisors from the industry and academia, as well as a growing list of investors, we work in multiple markets and mostly in automotive and insurance and energy sectors, both in Europe and the United States. One thing which is very important is with the current situation around coronavirus, what we offer is contactless payments so that you don't need to touch the keypad and therefore do not need to spread the disease. Hopefully no one of us does have it. Then also this technology, because it is embedded inside the car, can help reduce human interaction, especially for food delivery businesses. And also it helps with efficient fleet management. Customer success is our priority. Having secured several important projects, we're now working to boost our operations. If you work in the automotive or insurance industry or participate in smart transportation initiatives, feel free to reach me so that we can build together the ultimate mobility experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm going to encourage everyone to chat in their questions. But while people are doing that, I just want to make a comment. We saw you at Connected Things and you have made a tremendous amount of progress. So congratulations on that. Does anybody want to chat in a question? There we go. There's one about what type of financing you're looking for right now.
It's a convertible up to 500,000 because most of the projects we already work on are on margin for us. So it's more to boost our operations through the next 12 months to get to the speed to market milestone. So it's 500K on a convertible.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit about pivoting at this time. Are you doing anything different right now than you were a couple of months ago?
A couple months or a year ago?
A year, couple months. I mean, the world has changed completely. So
you mean in terms of COVID?
Yeah.
No, it's just we're basically what happened is we're talking to OEMs, to automotive OEMs, and in the calls, they just started putting on the agenda the COVID-19 opportunities. So it's just they're all looking to see how we can actually attack that problem, that challenge out there in the market. But in terms of the actual business process is actually much faster for us now because everyone is kind of not commuting, not doing all the other things. They can focus on us and working on those types of projects. So in the last 2 months, I had business calls, like 3-4 business calls a day. So it has been really busy as people kind of working remotely. So basically we added more opportunity as a result of COVID-19. And that did not quite impact our business because we're a strategic technology. We're connected vehicles, which are supposed to be there in, what, 4 or 5 years, all of the vehicles are going to be connected. So that is why it does not affect us, those types of shocks like coronavirus.
interesting, great. How are you addressing the confidentiality of GPS and user data?
So one aspect which is important is secure connectivity, so that no one actually spoofs that data on the way to the cloud. And that we do with VPN secure connection over cellular. The other thing is the cloud itself is secure in Amazon Web Services cloud base. Generally speaking, we have the cybersecurity architecture around what we do. Most importantly, that it's not being somewhere in the middle, taken out of the vehicle of the value of the chain itself, of the communication channel. But the other thing is when you deliver the services as we do, data is important as a bigger kind of scalable opportunity out there, but the service itself does not require us to save a ton of data, tracking data for every user. So if there is a need, say in Europe where you have GDPR, which is very strict, and then there is a user who does not want us to retain the tracking data, then the service can still be delivered because every time the system just pings the API and asks, okay, am I parked? And then you can just automate the transaction itself. So it's only one point that is necessary to be retained in that case, rather than the full tracking trajectory.
Got it. We have a question here around business model. Will there be a subscription or advertisers or a mix of both?
Oh, it's licensing. Let me just open it up. So it's licensing because there is a patented telematics, which is highly accurate telematics, which automotive industry does not have it right now. So the patent itself is a sensor fusion to deliver under 2-meter accuracy reliably in urban canyons in particular. So that technology is a software load that goes directly to car makers, and that's what we charge the license fee per vehicle. And then the subscription is a flat fee, which is from the drivers. So actually the service itself, it's a B2B model, it's a B2B2C, and therefore we really do not, I mean, we mind how we deliver the service to the driver, obviously, as part of the customer experience, but the fee is actually paid by the OEM in our case, and therefore it becomes for us a monthly recurring revenue model.
Okay. Just one question around your competitors. So how are you different from like the Spot Heroes and whatnot of the world?
So the major aspect here is full automation, right? So there's no need to do anything on the mobile phone because it's guided by highly accurate telematics that is always embedded inside the car. So one example I can give you, what we piloted in New York is actually we piloted an hourly parking model with garages, which does not exist, which is $4 an hour only, because we know exactly when you enter the garage and when you exit the garage. So most of the parking solutions out there do not know when you leave. On street, off street, you prepay, and therefore they don't care when you leave. So in our case, we actually charge you by the minute how much you actually stayed inside the garage. And because we know when you left, we put that space back to the market immediately. There is no kind of human touch to this because all of it is fully digital. And that is what allows for more efficiency in the parking management business and allows us to really reduce the price as a result of it.
Great. I'm going to ask this one more question because Amy hasn't cut me off yet. So how do you plan to make deals with all the parties involved?
Right. So that's basically what we're building is the connections. We're a middleware. So it's not that we need to make deals with everyone. Like we can go to aggregators, say parking, for example, right? We can go directly to Park Mobile or Passport to activate 500 cities at once. I don't need to go to every city to activate the parking payment service because we just piggyback on existing digital architecture that those companies have. And then when you have an OEM behind you, that becomes much easier to connect the dots. So it's just connecting those dots is what we are working on. But basically it's a technical middleware that is more important here than the business side because all of them are interested already to do this. We just share our expertise as being smart transportation and policy experts so that OEMs, automakers, for example, understand how the city works and we can facilitate that touch if necessary.
Great. Thank you. I think we're probably out of time.
We are.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I'm getting good at that.
Yeah. We're going from Italy to Israel now to hear from Hanan from Senecio.
Okay, hi. Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm based in Israel, running Senesio. I'll share my screen in a moment. 1 second. Can you see it?
We see it.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for the opportunity. This is great. So I'm really happy, and hopefully all the participants will also find this interesting and educational, and I'm super excited. So let's roll. Senesio Robotics, what do we do? We are dealing with mosquitoes, and we are using AI and robotics to reduce chemicals and increase monitoring capacities around the world using edge technology and AI, which we now show you in the next slides, to reduce toxic pesticides using the 21st century technology. And why is that important? What is the problem with mosquitoes? Every 30 seconds or so, a child dies from mosquito-borne disease. We have about 700 million people around the world getting affected by mosquito-borne disease every year. We're talking about the US, Brazil, not only Africa, places like Singapore, which is currently suffering from a huge dengue outbreak, India, etc. Millions of people, and the burden on the economy is huge. And because of climate change, this is just something that is growing more and more, and you see more and more outbreaks each year. Now, what's the problem? What we are addressing and using AI is to scale two processes across the entire value chain of monitoring and control. How currently laboratories and health municipalities monitor the mosquito population around the world? What they do is they spread millions of traps around the world. For each municipality, it will be between dozens and hundreds of traps. They bring the traps to the laboratory, as you see on the bottom left image. And then there is a technician, an entomologist, which is separating the mosquitoes one by one under the microscope, classifying which mosquito is it. And then based on their decisions, based on their analysis, they can now take measures and see how they control the mosquito population. One of the most important tasks in any vector control program is the understanding of the mosquito population. How many do they transfer viruses? Do they carry viruses, and where they are? It's very tedious. It takes them, in Israel, for example, 80 days per year. What they do from 10 in the morning to 4 afternoon, they count mosquitoes, count and classify mosquitoes. Then for the control, once you understand what is the population, then you have different options how to address the mosquitoes. One of the most promising technologies is the sterilistic technique, which is the release of male-only mosquitoes. They act like smart bombs. They target the females, and once they mate, there is no offspring because they are sterile. Because the female mates only once in a lifetime, then the population drops shortly. Problem is, same like the monitoring, you need huge amount of people to do the job. They sort literally under the microscope the mosquitoes one by one. So to cover places citywide, then you would need hundreds of people to do the sorting before you're able to release. So in the next 2 slides, I will show you 2 different videos for actual machines that we have and built. One is already in Florida for the sex separation. We'll start with the monitoring, and then we'll move to the sex separation. This is the monitoring. So that is the monitoring. Using deep learning and robotics, we automate the entire process of classifying the mosquitoes, separating, classifying them, and then also pulling them into vials to ease the work of those thousands of laboratories who are monitoring the mosquitoes. Next step is we're not stopping there. Using our core expertise in robotics and AI, then we automate the process of the production of the millions of the star mosquitoes. And this is how it's done. The machine is currently in Cliff County, Florida, and validation towards being operational. So this technology is, I think, pretty much under the definition of what disruption is. We are disrupting the entire market of vector control, both for the monitoring and the adult control. We have thousands of laboratories that are counting mosquitoes one by one under the microscope, and we will disrupt how they work. We bring AI and robotics, and the key players are all those government entities. For the adult control, currently, while the SIT is so promising, yet its cost is much higher than the chemicals due to the fact of how many people are needed to do all those sorting, release, packaging. We are disrupting this market by bringing the costs of the sterile mosquitoes for the first time to be comparable with the chemicals and enable the production on factory size, on the production of millions of mosquitoes using our robotic system. So we are disrupting the entire vector control market. We're doing it with, I think we have an A team. We are doing that for the last few years, being backed by our VC from Florida. I'm based here in near Tel Aviv in Israel. The R&D is being done in Israel with our advisor board and board sitting in the US, starting with Alex Telez from Ocean Azul Partners from Florida, Ralph Berslauer, executive board member, and then we have one of the world mosquito experts coming from the Bill Gates Foundation and the USDA, opening doors for us. And then we have Tamir Naver, who worked on the Arrow 3 missile interception system in Israel, and myself with about more than 10 years experience in aerospace technologies, robotics, automation, etc. So to summarize, we are currently disrupting $1 billion industry, and we are doing that by 3 different things. One is we are addressing the #1 killer of people around the world. It's a green technology. We are making surveillance programs being efficient, allowing laboratories to better manage their seasonal employees. And we are scaling SIT for the first time to enable SIT on large areas. We can do all of that because of the enormous patent portfolio which we have. I would say that it is the widest one on the market as per coverage from monitoring all the way to the production and release of sterile mosquitoes. And that allows us to truly provide solutions across the entire value chain. Currently, we are doing a capital round targeting a $1 million with the safe. And I have some additional backup slides if anyone has more questions. This is my email, that's our website. And thank you for the opportunity. And this is us.
Thank you so much. We have a bunch of questions coming in, so I'm gonna scroll through them. What's your margin of error in the sorting process?
So we have two different sorting processes for the monitoring and for the sex separation of the sterile mosquitoes. For the sex separation of the sterile mosquitoes, we are currently validating. It's a two-phase process with the pre-sorting using based on the dimorphism differences in the size of the pupa of the mosquito, and then a second process using AI. So altogether, we are targeting above the 99.999 something percent. We are close to that. We are not yet on that, but we are on the way to achieving this number, which is required because you're not allowed to release females. You want to release only males, which do not bite. For the other technology, which is the monitoring, on one hand, we are dealing with a greater variety of species because we are collecting the mosquitoes from the field, and then we see a whole bunch of different features and mosquitoes, but then the accuracy requirement, not necessarily what we are achieving, but the requirement by the market is around the 90%. So that's much easier than the sex separation for the release of these sterile mosquitoes.
Interesting. I have a question here. I think this is about patent applications. How many of your patent applications have been allowed and in what countries?
So we have spending too much money on patents. So we have already a bunch of them in national phase and already granted. We have granted patent for release in Singapore and of course in China, and towards acceptance in a few more. We have we are covering both the release through drones, aircrafts, and vehicles. We see positive feedback on our release from tubes, continuous release of tubes on mosquitoes. And we have positive, and that was a huge progress in the last year. We got a positive feedback on our robotic sex separation using the AI. So I can say with confidence that after knowing what there is out there, that our patents perceive other competition that is out there and other patent applications. We cover also mission planning. So our patent applications cover mission planning, release, drones, aircraft, van, sex separation, monitoring, mission planning, and seems like all of them are going to be accepted, and part of them were already accepted. So we are in a very good situation with the patents being led by one of the leading companies, one of the leading patent attorney firms in Israel.
Great. There's a question here about how the scaling of this mosquito sterilization impacts the larger ecosystem.
So that's the nice thing about that, as opposed to chemicals. On one thing, this is a very species. We're targeting only the species that we want to reduce its population. Even if when you're releasing sterile males, not only you're not harming not only people, and also you're not harming bees, which are really important for the ecosystem, but even other potential mosquitoes, which you not necessarily want to reduce their population will not be reduced, because those females mate only with their counterparts from the same species. So we're targeting invasive species which carry diseases, and targeting only of course in urban areas. We are not reducing the entire mosquito population from the entire world, and also outside of the cities. We are reducing invasive species, targeted species, only within urbanic areas.
Great. I think I can ask one more question, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. What's the cost of your devices, monitoring and sterilization, and how globally scalable is your operation?
Okay. So how global? I reply by, we are already having tremendous feedback for both for the monitoring and for the sterile insect technique coming from places like Africa, Europe, and the US, Brazil, and the Far East. Being well, our R&D here in Israel, then we are very nimble and quick. We are currently focusing on the US, already having a running machine over there, but targeting expansion to other countries. When you need to remind me the beginning of your question, sorry.
I'm sorry, I scrolled past it. The cost of the devices?
So what we've designed is, let's say the ROI for the client is in with the 1 year time frame, within this time frame for both of the systems. We see that instead of for the sex separation, instead of using about 10 or more even people, then they need only part-time operator to use our machine. So the cost savings is huge. Without getting into now this public discussion into exactly what the dollar cost, then it's cheaper than the savings of those 10 people. The way that we've built it is that in single machine, we can accommodate huge amount of mosquitoes, which is part of the unique design of the unique mechanical design of our system, which enables us to have such huge cost savings on people. And I'd be happy to do a one-on-one later on and dive into more details. Sorry
Great.
for not.
No, that's okay, because we actually are short on time. So I just want to say thank you to all of our presenters today. Again, another terrific round for everybody to vote for. I shared the voting link in chat, but we will follow up in email, and you can go to the Startup Spotlight website to view the voting link. Please only vote once. Yeah, he has an advantage now that he's on screen. I do really want to thank our annual sponsor, Caldwell IP, for supporting us in this pivoted Startup Spotlight event. Next week, we're going to have another round of pitches on May 8th. We haven't chosen those yet, so please make sure to register for that. We find out on Wednesday who those folks are going to be, and vote early and often. But again, thank you all for presenting. Thanks for coming, and we will hopefully see you all at the next Startup Spotlight Demo Day next week on the 8th.